This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2023 Flagstaff Micro Lite, model number 25 FBLS. Okay, this is not a floor plan video, it's a how-to video. I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work, okay? So you have a power awning with LED strip. You have a TV signal out, power, and a bracket. You get the other half of the bracket too. It's inside the trailer. Okay. You have this rail here where a utility table hangs. And then you have this rail here where a griddle hangs. Now, the griddle comes with a LP line, and that has to be, let me see if I can get down here far enough to show you. Seems to be tucked up underneath there. Hold on. You can see right there is where it connects to, okay? All right. The griddle itself, I think, is here. Just kind of buried a little bit, but there it is right there. And there's your utility table. It's your stabilizer crank. You have a hitch with this, which is a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. Okay, we'll show you how that operates when you pick up. Alrighty. So, this is the exhaust for the furnace. This is your furnace here. So, this furnace works on both gas and electric. You got an electric heating element behind here. This cover here, and there's a switch inside for that. And then you have a gas valve for your gas burner, when there's a switch inside for that. This is the drain plug / anode rod. It screws right into there. It's an 1 1/16 6-point socket. Remember, when you after you've drained your water heater, when you're getting ready to camp again and you put the plug in, make sure you refill the water heater before you turn it on. Otherwise, you'll damage it. So, never run it without water in it. I'll show you the switches for that when we get inside. Okay, you have outside speakers. And this is the vent for the range hood. So there's a little baffle on the outside with little latches, one on each side. You want to push those up so the baffle flaps freely when you're venting to the outside. Okay, this is just in case you wanted to add a solar panel battery charger. This one's made by Go Power. It's just a kit you can purchase if you're interested. A deep cycle marine battery. I'm sorry, a deep cycle marine battery. 2 LP tanks, full, with an automatic changeover regulator. You have a power tongue jack, and then there's a kill switch down here. If you can see it, it's kind of hard to see here, but trust me, it's down there. Okay, it's kind of dark down there, but it's there. Okay, this is the most common way to get water to the trailer. That's your city water hook up there. This is in case you're camping someplace without city water. You can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here, and after you fill it, you can use the pump to pump the water. So it's just a second way to get water to the trailer. This is an antifreeze inlet for when you winterize. Okay, and your water pump and valves and things like that are behind here. Okay. All right. When it comes to winterizing, you'll have to, if you're going to do it yourself, you'll have to educate yourself a bit. If you're going to do it yourself, if you don't already know how. Okay. Fresh water drain is down there. There's a gray tank valve there. And a black and a gray here. Okay. That's your 30-foot, 30-amp power cord. Okay. Cable and satellite through right there. This is your black tank flush right here. So after you dump your black tank, you can hook the hose of the dump station onto here and flush out your black tank. Of course, you have an outside shower here. Housing for pre-wired backup camera. It takes a Furion backup camera kit. We do carry those here if you're interested. You have a ladder which makes it easy to inspect the roof. The manufacturer states that every 90 days you should inspect the roof. So somebody needs to go up there and look around basically. Make sure there's no crack in your separation. Make sure there's no damage done by low branches or road debris, that sort of thing, okay? It should be part of your regular maintenance. As we first walk in, well, let me do it this way. Let me get some lights here. Okay, we'll start with the control panel. Your power awning is here. Your two slide rooms are here. Your main slide and your wardrobe slide. This is a Wi-Fi signal booster called a Wi-Fi Ranger. Right, that's up on your roof. That's where this sticker comes in. It's basically a Wi-Fi signal booster for your and your family's phones and tablets. So you'll look in, everybody who has a phone will look in their Wi-Fi section and find Tenton 7248, and that's your Wi-Fi Ranger, right? Then in a browser, you look at the bottom line here, you go to the control panel, there's an address right here, so you punch that address into a browser, it'll come to a password page, and you'll use Change Me Now 7248 as a temporary password, and you can see everything the Wi-Fi Ranger sees. And then you would, let's say the campground gave you a password, you'd find the campground Wi-Fi, put in a password, and the Wi-Fi Ranger will log on, basically. So it's got a signal boosting antenna on it, and it's got a router attached to it. So it just gives you a better Wi-Fi. It gives you a stronger signal, and it's just an all-around better system. So that's your Wi-Fi Ranger, okay? Disconnect means you can connect it to the app right here. Water heater on gas, you can light it right there. Electric element, you can turn it on there. Never run these without water in it. The water pump we talked about, you can turn it on there. That's to, you can pump water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. That's also used to winterize the trailer. And then you have tank heaters on this trailer. So all your holding tanks, your black, your gray, two grays, your black, and your fresh water all have heating pads on them. So it will extend your camping season basically, okay? And then you have your levels, all your levels displayed right here. All right. Now we'll go to, let's see, we'll talk about power here to start off with. Let me just look around a minute here so I can get my bearings straight. There's a switch for this. Okay. All right. So you have solar panel on the roof, right? Right now the furnace is running, the propane furnace, but you have a solar panel on the roof. Then you have an inverter, right? An inverter basically takes 12 volt DC and inverts it to 110 AC. So therefore, this trailer, let's say the outlets are inverted, right? So you could use once you start inverting battery power, you can run like a 110 AC blender or a coffee pot or something like that, just a small appliance. The way you would do that is you turn it on, the inverter on right here, just like that. And I know because the furnace is running, you can't hear it kick on, but right now it's inverting 12 volt DC into 110 AC, right? You don't need to have it running all the time if you're not going to be using it, so you hold about 3 seconds on the button and it'll shut down. That's inversion. Then over here, like most trailers, you have a converter. It does just the opposite. It goes from AC to DC power. So let's do this here. On this side you got regular 110 AC circuit breakers, and they're all labeled, right? And this is when you're plugged in, of course, to short power. Then that 110 AC is converted to 12 volt DC over here. You got 12 volt fuses, and they're all labeled, right? So that's where your 12 volt comes from. It's also a battery tender, so it's going to sense how much energy your battery needs, and as long as you're plugged in, it's going to charge your battery. When you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle's alternator through the charge line will charge your battery, and then of course the solar panel will charge the battery as it can, depending on the climate, or I'm sorry, depending on the conditions outside, the weather conditions. So that happens over here. you push B. B is the only button you worry about right here for this side. So let me bring it around to 13.6 volts in your system. That is excellent, right? You push B again, and it tells you right now, because it's an overcast, cloudy day, we're only gaining 0.5 amps and sending it to your battery. So the sun, you can see the picture of the sun, the arrow going towards a panel is telling us that we are gaining 0.5 amps from the sun. Push it again, you're 100% charged. Push it again, and these are your amp hours. It tells you how much power you have in storage. Push it again, and you're back to the original screen, 13.6. So it shows you 4 different screens, right? There's an app for this also, a Bluetooth app. And there are some more features, but these are the main features. Now, if it starts flashing FUL and the button won't respond, the button B won't respond, it's not broke. It's telling you that there's no more room for storage in the battery. So it's stopped. It's shut down the panel basically till once the amps drop in the battery, it'll go right back to your normal 4 screens. But when it's totally charged, it will shut down. So, okay. So that's your solar panel. That charges your battery depending on the conditions outside. Okay? Alrighty, so inverter goes from DC to AC. Converter goes from AC to DC. And of course your solar panel, this is your solar controller. Your solar panel is always working. Okay? Alright. So let's see what we have next here. Look over here. Your thermostat is just an analog thermostat. You always want to keep the fan on auto, and then you just pick out heat, fan, or cool, or off. Very simple. Let me look around here to see if he's put anything in any drawers that I should know about. This is your packet with your all your literature in it. These are your 2 remotes. That's for your fireplace / space heater down there. You have this one. It's very simple. And then you have your TV remote here, of course. Your refrigerator, it's 12 volt DC refrigerator. Always keep that latched like it is, because you want to you don't want the doors to come open and break something. That is for if you hang a TV outside, that's the coax for it. And let me shut this. If I come over here, this is the plate. This is the other half of the bracket right here. This is a water filter that goes between your hose and the trailer. You choose to use it. And then you have other stuff down here too, a spatula, toilet paper roll holder if you want to use it, or a towel holder. If you want to use it, that's up to you. This is the hose. I told you have to plug the griddle in. So this is the quick connect hose. This one goes into the back of the griddle, and then this one goes into the quick connect under the trailer I told you about. You have 1 battery on this right now. These are your jumpers to add a second battery. If you do that, make sure you wire it correctly. You want it to still output 12 volts. You're just doubling the storage capacity, okay? So that's what those are for. Okay. Let me see what's next. Okay, so I don't know if these have been run yet. Let me see. So the tanks were just hooked up, so it's going to take a few minutes. There it goes. To get the gas up to the stove. But now that it's at the range, you'll just start really easily. Okay, so you got these 3 knobs here, or the 3 burners. This one here is the sparker. You turn it clockwise to spark. This one here is for the oven. The oven has a pilot light all the way at the back at the bottom. You can see it sparking there right now, right? So what you do with this, you'll go to the picture of the pilot light, then you depress it. You keep it depressed. With the other hand, you spark this. When you see it light down here, you're still holding this in. Once it lights, you hold it for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat up the thermocouple. Then you're going to go to operating temperature. The oven cycles on and off like it does. Once you shut it off, the pilot light goes out. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. You have a light up here and then an oven light there. thing out of here. I see it's kind of, oh, I see, it's just the paper in there. Okay. I always travel with this top shut. Let me see what we have here with your, I'm going to show you the fireplace here. Okay, so there should be a tab in here if it's, maybe it's already been used. Let's see. See what happens. Okay, there we go. So there's your remote. Right now it's kicking out the heat. You obviously you might be able to hear it, but it's really cranking it out. So you can change the intensity of the fire, right? You can change your thermostat here, up and down. It has a timer, so you can set it to turn on and turn off at a specific time. It's a really good space heater. It runs on AC, so on those days where you don't quite need the furnace, you can just run that and it'll really crank out the heat. So where will I put this? I'll put it right here for now. The TV is not just a TV. It has an FM radio. It has Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly from your phone or your tablet. It has HDMI's in the front and the rear. 2 speaker zones. Zone A is inside the trailer. Zone B is the outside of the trailer, so it does a lot. Okay. Again, that's for your app. For the, I think that's for the this particular one's for the panel, I believe. Okay. Let me still look around more. I'm not convinced I've seen everything here. Let me just look around a little bit here. Okay. Alright, let's see what's next. Your table folds up and you can store it in the front compartment or flip it over onto your bed. I mean, you just want to put it someplace secure. It collapses down. Some people put it back here. You can actually fit it back there, I think, behind this, your recliners here. These are powered, of course. They got your footrest and back is powered, and then you have your rip cords here. Alrighty. This device over here is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green like it is. If not, get it serviced. It's important, obviously. Okay. Your bathroom. First of all, you have a GFCI plug here. All the plugs in the trailer are wired through a GFCI, even the one on the outside. So if you pop it outside, you're going to reset it in here. Okay, still looking around here to convince myself I haven't missed anything. Okay. All right, so the next eco device is the shower miser right here. I can tell you there's information in your packet. Plus, you can always go to the product's web page and look at their videos and stuff too. Okay, so what this is a water recirculator. Normally, when you're heating up your hot water, let's get this right here, right there. Normally, when you're heating up your hot water, the cold water, perfectly good fresh water, just goes down your drain. The problem with that is in drought conditions in some areas you're not allowed to do that. And second of all, you're wasting space in your gray tank by just sending good water down the drain. So when you set this, you turn on the hot water and it just recirculates it down into a loop. From your fresh water tank, it just goes around and around and around. As it heats up, this will change color from this blue to like a beige color. It'll be obvious change anyway, plain as day. Once that happens, you know it's heated up. So then you go to your regular position and it works like a shower. So it's basically just a recirculator that saves fresh water. Okay. The toilet sits right over a black tank like RV toilets do or trailer toilets do. That's the flush pedal there. So basically, you can't use a dry. By dry, I'm talking about the black tank below. So when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water, you put a dose of chemical right in the bowl, right? Then you're going to step on the pedal and hold it down long enough to put at least a gallon of water in the tank below along with the chemical. I say at least a gallon. Some people use more, it's up to you, but the bottom line is you can't use it dry. It has to have chemical and water in it. Otherwise, the smell will be terrible and it'll get clogged up. So you never run it without water and chemical in the black tank. Okay? Also, there's a great fan. It's a 4-speed fan. It's got a cover over it so you can leave it open during the rain. and it's obviously a bathroom fan, but if you've got a bunch of people over and it's the time of year where you start to get condensation from your breath, for example, you can turn this on low. You won't even hear it running, and it'll just pull it right out. You'll have no issues with it. So it's a very good fan. This is the range hood fan I told you about. Remember, if you're going to run it, remember to open the baffle outside. Your microwave works like any other microwave. Okay. Alrighty. I'm thinking that this comes with I believe this comes with a tire monitor system. I don't see it, but that's why I've been looking as I go. I'm going to make sure it's in here. Basically, your wheels have sensors on them, right inside the tire, on the wheel, directly across from the valve stem. So you get this little device that you can program, and it'll tell you the temperature and the pressure in your wheels. So, so I haven't run across it yet for some reason, but this just confirms that it comes with it. So I'll make sure that's in here for you, okay? Alrighty. TV hookups here. It's got a backer plate here so you can put out a swing out bracket. Make sure if you're going to have a TV in here, get the one that swings out so you can watch it while you're laying down. Okay. Okay. So I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof every 90 days. That should be part of your regular maintenance. If you can't do it yourself, have somebody do it. It's important. You can't see what's happening on your roof unless you're up there, right? So you got to take a look at it. And right now, this trailer is it's winterized, so it's set for the winter. There's antifreeze in the system. Your water heater is bypassed. Okay? Thank you very much.